Yo, them boys at the corner store, cracking jokes like we poppin' soda water. Big Gooch K-rockin', never teaching the ladies laws for sure. Blue cool hand, Hardy on the floor. Hot dog, chasing topics vibe for the Facebook Live. For the Facebook Live. Me and Micah chatting up with paper and politics. Slick Kane got the what where they thinking pics. Glenville streets catching all the loops. Last loud, five, crowd crews never mouth. Stepped in, get styled, our stories compiled. Corner store vibes, where we thrive. Tune in live, watch us jive. Glenville's on, let's high five. Podcast time, let's dive.
Hey, happy Thursday, and welcome to the Corner Store for another podcast episode with guys from Glenville, Georgia, letting you in on our group chat, things we talk about throughout the week, whether it's old stories, politics, new stories, sports, and all of that good stuff. We're going to have a truncated show tonight. Some of the guys may be a little late and come on, but I have one of the main stars himself, Mr. What Were You Thinking? Mr. Slick King. What up, my brother?
What's going on, fella?
I can't call it, man. I look like it's me and you holding it down today, bro.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. It's a lot going on in the world and in the U.S. when it comes to politics, bro.
Oh,
Did you watch the news conference?
I did, man, and I thought he did well. You know, I think a lot of he old, bro. I mean, let's get that out the way. He old. He can't handle Trump. He got a little mad at Trump during that last episode, and then people don't know that Biden has a stutter. You know, a lot of times it ain't a brain fart with him. It's more of him trying to get past that.
Trying to control it.
Yeah.
He's stammered and stuttered since he's been youth, but he's controlled it over the years. But as the older he's got, it's been exasperated. I mean, there's bodily function we can't hardly hold. We can't drive far without having to pull over and use the bathroom. So
yeah, he old now. That's no contest about that now. But I can tell you this: they can roll that joker up in a casket, and I'm still voting for him. So,
bro, he can be in a mummy outfit. I'm still casting my ballot for him, bro.
Yeah,
because you touched on it kind of off backstage. People are looking at the personalities more so than the policies and the advisors and cabinet that they put around them. So, touch on that a little bit, bro.
Well, people don't understand politics. The president is not like a CEO of a company. It's kind of similar, you know, but he don't have that power like a CEO, you know, in certain things. You know, he can fire cabinet members that he appoint, he can replace them, et cetera, et cetera. But he is bound by certain, his powers are limited in certain things. A CEO can come in there and change the whole company. He can shut it down from selling Pampers to, hey, we're going to do electronics, and ain't much you can do but go get another job, you know. But a president is more like a figurehead. He controls the pace, and he's only as strong as his cabinet and the people that he's advising or advising him. And he did a good job of placing people in good spots. You know what I'm saying? Buttigieg did good. You know, he's been pretty great about the transportation. I think Vice President Kamala's played her role. And I think that, you know, Joe is a person that I think he got people around him that's going to help support him. You know, the ideal that we need to get rid of him and replace him with who? The logical choice, especially with the rules around donated money, you know what I'm saying? Money that he's already compiled. You know, Kamala can get that money, But some of these other new people, it's going to be a path to get that money, So what do you do? And I don't think America's ready for a woman president, let alone a black woman president. So I think for all those Vice President Harris fans, you might want Joe to go in there, and that might be her best way to get to the chair. You know what I'm saying?
Man, so that's the way I look at it, because potentially she has, like, if it happens like you just said, she has like 10 years of reign potentially. If he's in there at least 2 years, and then she takes over after that, now she can run back to back, and if things are going good, she gets reelected in. Yeah. And it's kind of like you said, president is just 1/3 of government. You have your executive, your legislative, and your judicials, and he's more of a facilitator, which is why he puts his cabinet together, his advisors together, those who are assisting him with it. Edmund, we kind of talked about it last couple of days, and fill us in. Did you watch the news conference tonight, bro?
I listened to the entire news conference coming into Florida. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, you got a little echo, but you good.
Yeah, I'm tucked away. These kids are loud in here. I try to find a place to go where I can get some quiet. They up there beating on the floor and everything, man. But I watched the conference, and the conference showed me that, the man is old, but he still has a command of the issues. That conference also displayed that this man's not losing his mind. This man was able to stand there and answer a question about China. And I know Trump can't answer that question in that manner. This man was very detailed. He went back to times where he was on foreign policy trips when he was vice president. This man was able to stand there and command the issues. And also, I kind of caught the tail end of what you were saying about, the whole thing about removing him from the ticket. At the end of the day, there's only one person that can stand in and take the helm and run as the nominee for the Democratic Party. Any other person would be unacceptable. It would do more damage to the Democratic Party if they leapfrog the woman that's his right-hand person, who he tapped to be that person, and to leapfrog her and go to somebody else will be a slap in the face to the most loyal constituency in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to part of the caveat of our topic. Is it going to take black women to save America once again?
Yes, it's going to take black folk. See, I don't like that in the media to say that black women are the only ones.
You know where I was going.
America. It is black men too, overwhelmingly.
I stood in line too.
The two groups that support the Democratic Party more than any other group are black women and men. So let's cut that narrative off at the root. Black men are responsible for the Democratic Party as well. And my thing is, I was looking at polling, since we want to use polling today. The ABC came out with a poll today. Guess what? That poll showed that actually Kamala Harris does better than Joe Biden.
I'm not a fan of polling because
I'm not either.
If you go back to the polling when Trump was a candidate, they had him almost at the bottom of the barrel, and he come up and won. So. Yeah, and then if you look at Joe Biden was in, before the South Carolina congressman saved him, he was at the bottom of the barrel.
And we look at polling going into the midterms, going into all the other elections, and even recent elections. Poland had Democrats performing poorly, but when the voters went to the polls, there was a different result. So I'm not just saying believe the polling, because that's what some of the people are using to try to force Biden out the race. And what I don't like is that, and I've seen this, and some of my political friends and I have these conversations offline, is that this woman is getting it from both ends. She's getting it from the super white liberals, who are the Bernie people and that wing of the party, and she's getting it from conservatives because they're scared of her. If you go back a few years ago, before she even became a U.S. Senator, Karl Rove, the architect of the modern Republican Party, says we got to stop her in California because she's the next Obama.
And I kind of understand where you're going at with that, I just think I'm not really. I don't have faith in America being ready for a woman president. Hillary Clinton was probably one of the most established females in politics, and they hated her. They voted against her because they hated her, not her policies, not that she was ready from day one. They hated her.
But why did they hate her, Roger?
Well,
why did they hate her, Roger?
Before you say that, though, Roger, the system was set up for Trump to beat her because of the Electoral College. She won the popular vote, so it's hard to say everybody hated her when you look at individual votes, and more people voted for her than against her. But the Electoral College.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with the Electoral College. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. I'm gonna tell you this. It was designed where everybody knows. I'm a sociologist, and in sociology they teach you about, laws are made from the community from which they are a part of. All right. So you have laws in Nebraska that may be different than laws in California because it's a different type of community. All right. Now you look at the population in Nebraska and you compare that population in California, where I may be more or less wanting to live in Nebraska, but if California had all these people and they constantly want to put their lifestyle on me, we would never win because of that population. So that Electoral College kind of balances that. Now, what I don't agree with is 2 senators per state. That is where I think we're losing it in today's politics.
But see, if you understand now you're getting into my realm now. Yeah. So if you understand how the Electoral College is set up, it is based on 2 senators plus proportionality. Exactly. So no matter the size of your state, every state get two senators, regardless of size. And that's not fair, because what you have right now is the tyranny of the minority, where the minority is controlling the majority of the country. And that's what we have right now.
That is, to me, that is the major problem, is the 2 senators per state.
Yeah,
it's not the Electoral College. I think that's a good representative of the people distributed through population.
But the Electoral College gives, my solution, and my kids always ask me, well, Mr. Richards, what's your position? I never tell them my position, but I'll tell you all tonight. My position is proportionality. I think proportionality will make the system fair. So let's say, for instance, this current system we have now is a winner takes all system. So if I got 49% of the vote in Georgia, and Roger, you got 51% of the vote, you get all the electoral votes from that state. That is unfair. It pretty much wipes out the votes of everybody else. We need a proportionality system so that candidates can go campaign all over the country, whether it's a red state or a blue state, because there's an incentive to go there and campaign to all the people. Right now, we're only campaigning to 7 states. That's if you are a swing state. And that is the problem with our electorate, because if I know my California is already solid blue, I'm not campaigning there. I'm not wasting no money there. I'm not going there because it's already in the bag. I'm not going to Texas if I'm a Republican. Texas is going to always go Republican. But they concentrate on Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Nevada, and Arizona.
The blue wall up there, Ohio, Michigan.
Nonsense. Yeah. Absolutely. And so we got to reform the system, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I really believe, and to go back to the Hillary Clinton thing, the reason why she was bloody like she was, this lady has been fighting a battle against Republicans since her husband was governor of Arkansas, because she was out of ball. And what I hated about the 2016 election, the same talking points that Republicans used against her for years, I saw Democrats using the same talking points to kill this woman's candidacy. And it was us that stayed home and didn't vote. If you go look at the numbers from Pennsylvania, from Michigan, and from Wisconsin, she lost the election by like 60,000 votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't show up in the swing state.
Drop off in African American turnout from Obama, it was like 100,000 in each of those states or more.
I just think that Democrats, to me, they don't fight. They don't fight, and we keep doing the same things over and over again. We got to understand the nature of what we're looking at, and you got to believe what you're looking at. These people are not ready for a woman president. I don't care what color she is and who she is. All right, that's just bottom line. They're not ready
we
for.
got to make them ready, just like Obama.
Yeah, they're not ready for. Well, I disagree with you with the Obama thing because I think Obama came at the right time. They were frustrated.
So what time is now?
Exactly. Obama came at a time where after 9/11 with the name Barack Hussein Obama.
I got you. I just think.
I mean, you got.
My thing is, there's people gonna always say. I remember when I was this young person starting out in my career, and I was working in politics, and my boss at the time was like, he just saying the same thing like you said. I don't see Obama winning. All the establishments. I went to the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation conference that year. Do you realize they all began to endorse Hillary Clinton over Obama in 2008? Remember, John Lewis and the whole establishment. But there was an undercurrent of energy from all the young people and all the people who felt that Obama could win. And that was the driving force behind his candidacy. And when he won Iowa, it was like a horse breaking out the stable. And when that's when all of them started coming over saying he can win.
Do you think a prosecutor is going to bring in Bernie Sanders people?
Huh?
But I think they'll vote against Trump, though.
That we can bet on that.
But that's what I'm saying. She'll have a chance, dude. I feel like she'll have a chance because, like you said, it was the perfect storm for Obama.
Y'all the same people y'all the same people that told old girl she had a chance to be the governor in Georgia.
Oh no, she did. She really did. If you look at how they purged those numbers from the voting rolls and all that stuff, and she still lost only.
You think that ain't in the play? Y'all really think that ain't in the play? The playbook this year?
But let me say this right here too, and I hate to say this. How do I say this? Image. We are a vain society, and I'll leave it at that.
I got you. You ain't got to say no more.
Yeah,
that plays a part too.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, I think Kamala is uniquely positioned. There's nobody they're gonna leapfrog her because if they do, it's civil war in the Democratic Party, and a lot of us will be highly pissed. And you're gonna find a lot of people. Now, if Joe Biden's gonna stay, we riding with Joe.
Kamala want Joe to stay. That's the best way.
Absolutely.
To get to.
I think we all do because it's the cleanest way.
Yeah.
But if he decides to leave, the only route to go is with her, or it's a bus, for sure a bus. Because how many of those black women did y'all see? I posted a video today. She went to the AKA convention. You should have saw that convention. Hundreds of women in there. 4 more years. And see, that's what they don't understand. When they look at her favorability is higher than his with African American community. Her favorability is higher than his with Hispanic community. Her favorability is higher than him with women. So my thing is, I think the cleanest way, let Joe run. They need to shut up these super elite liberals in the media and in Congress and allow the voters to have their say.
Jake Tapper, I don't know what he got going on.
He got an agenda.
Well, it's all of them.
Almost like his person.
It's all of them. It's all of them, bro. Like MSNBC, NBC, all of their CEOs are Trump donors.
Yeah, I saw something on that today, man.
But see, here's another thing too, and Shannon, you and I talked about this. Media loves controversy. Biden is too boring for them. He's not a ratings generator. Guess what Trump is? A generator. Yeah, all the outlandish things he say, it's reality TV. Why do you think most of these reality TVs caught on? That's what people like. And people may say we hate Trump, but it's comical listening to that joker give a press conference, calling the leader of North Korea Little Rocket Man and talking about other leaders. It was just undignified, but people like that because it's drama.
Yeah.
So Evan, I know we talked about getting information out there about Project 2025.
Oh my.
And if no one's heard of it now, man, they just haven't been paying attention and don't want to pay attention. But can you just fill us in with a few of the bullet points that we need to know about?
Project 25 is the blueprint that Republicans always wanted to implement. It is to reimagine government from a conservative perspective. That means eradicate the entire federal government agencies. And what people don't understand, the recent Supreme Court case, the Chevron case, where it took, right now, federal agencies, let's say Congress passes a piece of legislation and there's still some ambiguity and some fuzziness around what they really meant. It gives the federal agency rule-making authority to go in and clarify the rules for when they implement. So if, let's say, for instance, EPA sets certain standards for pollution and things like that, the federal government had the ability to go in and do that. Well, the Chevron case says pretty much they can make rules, but the courts. So let's say, for instance, you go to a conservative court like what we have now. Corporations can just run rampshot and do whatever they want to do because now they roll back that precedent of that Chevron case decision. I say that to come over here to Project 25. That's all a part of the plan to unravel this federal government we know. They want to get rid of the Department of Education. Well, what people don't understand, the Department of Education was created after Brown versus Board of Education to equalize funding for schools. So those poor schools with kids that qualify for free and reduced lunch, those schools get federal funding to help them be able to have some of the resources that the more affluent communities have. They want to get rid of all of that. Pell Grants, Head Start. I'm a recipient of Head Start. Head Start, you can go when you're 3 and 4 years of age to give you a Head Start when your parents can't afford to send you to the daycares or to the private schools and things of that nature. They also want to get rid of all federal jobs that are civil service jobs that are nonpartisan jobs where you can't be involved in political activity. They want to get rid of all that and replace that with their people who would do what they want to do. Man, this will be the deconstruction of the country that we know. And people are playing around. That's why I tell you to research this thing, man. They want to cut Social Security, get rid of the safety net programs that hold us afloat for parents who may not be well-to-do when they're in their retirement age, disability benefits. All of those things are on the chopping blocks under this new plan that they're unveiling.
I got one to add for all those military people that get dual checks, disability plus retirement. They're talking about getting rid of that. And that's been in the bag for a minute, where you double dip kind of, where you get a disability rating and then you get a check based off your disability rating if you're over 50%. And if you're retired out of the military, you get a separate check. If you did 20 years like myself, you're supposed to get 50% of your base pay. And sometimes you can have 2 checks come in. They don't like that. They want to get rid of that disability check or your retirement check. You're going to have to seize one of the other. So for all our military guys that think that they are exempt from some of this stuff, you need to read into that too.
And then housing, I heard y'all housing voucher could be taken away too. They give y'all like $1,400 a month for housing and things like that, separate from your income.
I'm not sure about that. That must be they talking about active duty or something like that. But if they are giving that, I need to get mine because I don't get that. I don't get that. But it's pretty interesting. After the BET Awards, which I think was a great response.
Yes.
I heard about Project 25. I never paid attention to it, and I'm very, informed on politics. And I sat down and took the time to go out there and read it, and I read some of the ideals, and it's very dangerous, especially for us, minorities. If you're a minority, you really need to watch that. You need to be concerned because it's a lot of things that affect you. If you're a military member, Social Security guy, if you pulling that disability, these are some things that they are trying to cut. They're trying to get this budget down, and they saying, hey, that is not important to me. You getting affordable health care, that is not important to me. You having money to feed your kids at lunch, that is not important to me. And if it wasn't important to them, they were cutting it.
And on top of that immunity and I know a lot of people might not know about it or pay close attention to it and why people was up in arms. You put Chevron, the immunity, and Project 25 together, boy, we are Russia. And part of the ruling says when he uses his official powers in any way under the majority reasoning, he now, this was the dissenting opinion, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. He could order the Navy SEALs Team 6 to assassinate a political rival, and he could be immune from prosecution. That's crazy. She said, and no justice has ever said, because I fear for our democracy, I dissent.
Wow. And see, that's the thing with the Democrats as well, because none of them have talked about hearings or articles of impeachment with the Supreme Court.
They try to play nice. They need to
try to play nice.
Yep, they need to stack the courts when they get in there.
Expand the court.
Expand the court.
Federal, go ahead and
term limits, all of that.
Yeah.
Everything. They need to go ahead and get everything ready.
Let me tell you what we need. We need Biden to win re-election. We need about 53 seats in the Senate and win the House. We can change the rules. If they change the rules, there could be three fundamental things I think we do. Expand the court, pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act,
get rid of the filibuster.
Get rid of the filibuster.
And get rid of gerrymandering. If we get rid of gerrymandering in this country, we can break the fever on all this foolishness. Yeah. Because right now, both parties, I was submitting to you, both parties only have to win their super partisan bases and go to Washington and fight each other. You remember back in the day, even though we're in different times now, if you had to win a seat that was 50-50 that can go either way, you would carry yourself differently in DC. You will work differently in DC because you're trying to work with the other side to get things done. Right now, I don't care about working with the other side as long as I get reelected. And that's the reason why we have some of the worst Congresses in years, because they have no incentive to work with each other to get anything done. And gerrymandering is the culprit.
Which speaks more to Biden's agenda and his accomplishments, because this has been the least effective Congress ever, but he's been one of the most consequential presidents ever. So imagine if he had all three branches.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And just to tap on this target, once again, if you're tuning in to the Corner Store podcast, some of our hosts aren't here, but a lot of people are probably going to watch the replay. Celebrities. Roger brought up about the BET Award. Taraji P. Henson did a great job with putting that out there. But now you have other celebrities of other ilk or elitism, like George Clooney has come out. And I mean, we all know he's an old man. You're stating the obvious.
Let me tell you
what are you guys' opinion on that? Because they don't relate to rest of America like
I'm gonna say this here, and I've been holding this, but George Clooney didn't do that in the vacuum. I don't care what nobody say. Obama and his people are behind this because they don't want to come out publicly and saying they're doing the bidding of Obama. And my thing is, these elite Hollywood folk who's trying to tell Black voters and everybody else, the 14 million people that came out and supported Joe Biden in the primary, that we are wrong and they're right. They don't control this party. They're not the base of this party. We know what we want and what we voted for. We can, man, most Black people, you go ask most Black people right now.
I think this is where me and you fundamentally differ. And I think the base of this party is moderate conservative.
Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you, I really think if that's not the case, why hasn't Bernie Sanders won any of the elections?
No.
Won any of the states that he's won. We are a moderate conservative base. We put up with the other nonsense. I'm gonna be honest with you. We put up with the other nonsense because we need that coalition.
We're not
moderate conservative. We are moderate conservative.
But here's the thing: we're not disagreeing. I never said that. That's not. I said the base. Who did I say that Shannon the base of the Democratic Party is?
I thought you were saying there's an underlying current that
no, it's an underlying current that those folks, so super liberals, want him out.
Then I stand down.
Right.
The base of the Democratic Party are African Americans.
Yeah,
right.
And traditionally, African Americans that vote,
we are conservative.
We are.
Oh, so that's why I was
trying to see. Okay, I thought you were saying this underlying current because President Obama has always been.
He's super liberal.
Moderate. he's always been considered moderate. So I thought you were saying this underlying current.
You talking about Obama?
Yeah, Obama's he's
man, Obama. Let me tell you something. You go back and look at Obama tapes and stuff before he ran and polished stuff. Obama is some of the most. You go listen to his old speeches and tapes and stuff. Obama is super liberal. He became moderate to run for president.
Hey, he grew. He grew up. You know what I'm saying?
But what people don't understand, I say this all the time as a political scientist, and you know, study this in college. Most Black people, we vote out of necessity, right? And we vote based upon self-preservation versus our idealistic way of what we want to see in America, right? Because we haven't had the privilege to do that. And so we are at the base. If you talk to any Black person, they're very conservative when it comes to social issues, but we also understand who is better for us in the bigger picture. And so that's why we vote the way we vote. So no, I agree with you about the base of the Democratic Party, which are African Americans. Who saved Joe Biden from death? Black folk. Who were moderate voters who said no to Bernie. They knew that Bernie was too liberal.
Yeah, I would say most Black folks have conservative values.
Yeah.
But we're able to use our critical thinking more so than our counterpart. And I mean, I go on TikTok rooms sometime and listen to some of these people. I mean, it's embarrassing. Is that an indictment of our education system for how they're thinking now? Or is it willful ignorance?
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the most important classes we should have in our high schools is civics. And it's only given 9 weeks.
They don't care about
out of the entire high school time. And that should be actually the in the course EOC test that kids have. Do you know about taxes? Do you know about your civic responsibility and duty in your community? Do you know how government operates and functions? Because when I hear people on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram talking about stuff, I hear your frustration, but that tells me you don't understand what government is all about. Prime example. A guy I went to college with I told him, I said, Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. He was like, we don't have a democracy. We have a constitutional republic. I said, duh. Do you understand what a republic is? It is a form of democracy. Is that instead of in a pure democracy, which the founders were against because they felt like a pure democracy would be a tyranny of the majority, where the majority would just run ramp shot over everybody. And that's not fair. And they said
that's why we need that's why we need the electoral college.
And so the constitutional,
that's why we need the electoral college.
We the only country you get the most votes and still lose.
you can't be ran by the majority. See, you guys, it sounds like to me you guys have never been in a position where you were never the minority. I went to a school in Glenville High School back when, not Tapnell. I went to Glenville High School, where almost 80% of that school didn't look like me. All right. And I can tell you some of the things.
That's how we look, getting 70% white.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying is we didn't get to see, like my son. My son was the prom king. All right. Wasn't even close. My son could have won homecoming. No, he was homecoming king. I don't know. He won it like twice, but whatever the last one was, homecoming, prom, or whatever it was, no prom. Guess what happened? He didn't want it. He passed it down to his friend, so his friend can get it. Now, Glenville, we didn't have that option. I think Tyrone Fair won president, but they hated it. You know what I'm saying? I heard him talking about it. I think he won it his senior year. He was like class president or something, and they hated it. But what I'm saying is, we didn't have the chance to be selected as one of those particular items. We didn't have the chance to be considered as one of the best athletes, most likely to succeed. We didn't have a chance for that because we were outnumbered 7-1. You know what I'm saying? I think in my graduating class, I think we had 9 or 10 blacks that graduated.
Oh, wow. Well, it increased a little bit more with us because my senior year, I was senior class president, SGA president.
You was also at Tapman.
Yeah, I was at Tapman, but it was 70% black. I'm going to say white, but it was about 30% black. And I won Mr. Warrior. I was most likely to succeed and best dressed. I got all the things. But
that shit wasn't happening in the Glenville High School.
T-Bone won most athletic.
Most athletic. That's stereotypical though. They always get the black person back.
I know. You never see that most likely to succeed. You never see us on that back
Go
then.
back, flip through them books, man. But what I'm saying is, being a minority, sometimes, just sheer numbers are sometimes unfair.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that anything that I can do to balance that, and I think the electoral college is a good balance, in my opinion. Now, what I don't like is over representation, and I think that when we get to states like North Dakota, that's got 200,000 people there, and they senator are holding up funding for a road project in Georgia, I don't think that's fair.
And you know why they split North Dakota and South Dakota, so they can get more power in the Senate. That's the reason why they don't want Puerto Rico to become a state, because they know that's 2 extra senators that would most likely lean Democrat. So I mean, it's politics at play here. But get back to the original question. A lot of people need to understand that understand how our government works, because many people feel like when you elect the president, that's the end all be all. But what I love about even this moment is teaching people that the president elects a team and then has power to influence the judiciary. And that judiciary would carry out the philosophy of that president that selected them. And that is the problem that we have right now if we allow Donald Trump to get elected, because we got 2 more conservative justices that are about to retire. That means that these folks can enshrine the Handmaid's Tale in America for the foreseeable future if we're not careful. And everything that our ancestors fought for, they're looking to erase. They're looking to erase the entire 20th century. Everything that Dr. King fought for, these folks have been adamant about that. And they want to give federal funding to fund private schools so that they can finally complete their whole vision since Brown versus Board of Education. Actually, Clarence Thomas actually said we need to possibly revisit Brown versus Board of Education. And see, that's the type of stuff that we don't understand is at stake if we don't get out here and vote, regardless of if the person is 100% of what I want. But fundamentally, everything that your ancestors fought for that we took for granted is really and truly at stake in this election.
Hey, I want to make one more comment before we transition. Have any of you guys ever read the book of My Grandfather's Son?
No.
It's about Clarence Thomas. I recommend you guys. It's an enjoy. It's basically the story of Clarence Thomas. He grew up right between Hinesville and Savannah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's where he grew up at. His granddaddy was a hard worker, field worker, and uneducated. Helped put him through school in Savannah. He started off in school in Savannah and Catholic school. But I'm not going to tell you everything. But
I'm going to check
read that book. Read that book. It was a good read. And it's gonna confuse you by why this man act the way he does. I don't.
Wasn't he like bullied? I seem like I don't
know. The book didn't come
on YouTube about it.
But everything that he was awarded and given, he has voted against. This man was given everything all the way up to the Supreme Court justice.
Based on affirmative action.
Based off affirmative action. Man.
And the irony of it, Biden
he's killing it. And so I read that book. It's a good read. I'm telling you, if I got the book, I'll ship it to you if I can find it. But I bought it, I read it, I enjoyed it. I gotta understand this guy comes from us. He is.
Is there an audio version?
Maybe, I don't know. I read this book years ago. But he come from us. Wow. He come from our community, and for him to turn on us like that, especially coming from our community, it was shocking. So I recommend that read. But going back to your popular vote, when in doing the transition a little bit, hot dog, but popular vote get you 2 rookies that's leading MVP, not MVP voting, but the All-Star voting. Over.
You got to read the room. That's called reading the room.
MVP. That's why you don't give that.
You got to read the room. Just like with policies that are passed, even though some on the right don't even understand it, they are for progressive policies. But because you see Democrat may have written it or lead it, they vote against it.
Yeah.
So majority of America goes with the popular vote. I mean, popular policies that are in their interest, and most of those are progressive. So transitioning to the next thing, since you brought up basketball, Bronny James.
I had a basketball question myself.
Bronny James, we'll touch on this because I think all this transition between our last podcast when he got drafted. I know we talked about JJ Redick before, but then Bronny got drafted right after, and I saw a lot of back and forth.
Averaging 4 points.
I mean, I haven't even watched one game. So, what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts, bro? You're a Laker fan. As a basketball fan, I'll say I hate it, but as a black father, I love it.
So as I look at it, it didn't cost us nothing because his salary is really being paid by LeBron James would have got.
Absolutely.
So they circumvented the salary cap a little bit for his guaranteed money because it's not likely that a second rounder usually don't get guaranteed money. You know, that's something new. So if you look at the salary that he's got 7 years, what is it? 4 years over $7.5 million guaranteed. If you look at the $2 million a year that LeBron James, it's almost even. It's almost like the salary he would have got as a second round pick was 1.5 million or something like that. Then you add the 6 that his daddy lost, that comes out to your 7. You know, it all kind of balances out.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention to the money part because he's gonna make more endorsements than he's doing the salary.
Kid. You know, he just like Deion kids. Them boys have endorsement money. You know.
Yeah, I just look at it from a value standpoint. Could they have gotten better picking someone else at that?
Oh point? Yeah, it's plenty of kids that. So I looked at this one clip. I forgot his name, but he used to play for. He was a long time. He used to play for Phoenix. I can't think of his name right now, but he was a long time riding the bench, go out there and play 1 minute, and now he's trying to coach. And he made a comment about, you know, somebody asked him about Bronny James, somebody asked him about Riddick, and he says people have different paths in life, and you really can't be concerned with how a person get there or how a person stays there. You know, a lot of times, like Jerry Jones' son gonna get passed off Dallas Cowboys. We ain't gonna trip. We gonna say he inherited. So with us having to see LeBron have the power to do that, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. You know, did he earn it? I don't know. I mean, sometimes did I earn it? You know, did I earn it? You know, I got a lot of things given to me because I was Robbie Kane's son and Reuben Kane's grandson. You know what I'm saying?
To me, LeBron has earned it because that speaks more to his legacy of what he's done for a franchise to take his son. And I mean, to me, when I saw he got drafted, I hated it being a Laker fan. It didn't add value. But as a black father, I love to see that.
Hey, he ain't earned it as no Laker now. Now Cleveland, if Cleveland would have drafted him,
legacy.
If Cleveland would have drafted him, I'd have been okay with that. But the Lakers, we burnt the draft.
Yeah. As a basketball fan, I don't like it, but as a black father, I love to see it because we always talk about generational wealth until we see other people. It takes into action for other people.
Yeah, but when wealth bounces from the same circle, I don't really count that as generational wealth. You know, if you get what I mean on that.
But it has to start somewhere, though.
Yeah.
It started with LeBron.
Yeah, it started with LeBron. But LeBron he had a kid that was already taken care of, already had money in his pocket, and he took an opportunity from a kid that was trying to get out the ghetto. And
when most people reach that level, they don't just say, I want my kids to be okay. They say, I want my kids' and kids' to be okay.
Yeah, but his kids don't be okay. LeBron is $1 billion industry. I thought LeBron was selfish on that. He took an opportunity from a kid that probably needed that position, that draft pick. You know, but
I think they're gonna make it anyway.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, sports is entertainment. It's just another storyline. That's how I looked at it after they did the draft. Like, man, that's another storyline to add to his greatness.
He ain't did nothing, man. He could have gave us at least 10 points. That joke ain't get us nothing. Man.
I have a question for y'all since we're on basketball. What do y'all feel about Derek White getting chosen over Jaylen Brown for the Olympic team?
I thought it basketball-wise, it made sense. You don't need another shooter. So you can't take a bunch of A-type personality players. That's what happened to the U.S. the first time we got our butt tore up. We took all these superstars and thought we can just walk in there and just do it. We forgot to get the guy that's going to grind, go in there and dive on the ground, the guy that's going to pass the ball, the one that thought that he didn't have to take the last shot. So the makeup of the team, you need a Bam. Bam ain't the best power forward out there, but you need a Bam, you need a White. I don't need another shooter. You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta take the best.
No,
best
get you at home. How many times LeBron?
So what did the Dream Team not take the best when they went?
It was a different style. You remember when we
one person
LeBron went out there, Allen Iverson went out there, and they got third place.
Oh, I saw them get thrown up by Puerto Rico here in Jacksonville.
You got to build a team, and that team don't all need to be superstars.
So you saying Jaylen Brown couldn't fit in with that team?
No,
I think he could have.
I think he could have.
Tell me what he does well, and what we're missing.
He's not the best.
He's not the best of the best, but I'm saying if it's
but he does everything well.
No,
some people don't do everything well.
No, he don't. If you watch his game, his weakness is ball handling and passing. All right, we already got a shooter. We got several shooters. We got Curry on the team. You got what's his name? The old boy from Atlanta. You got him on the team. You got enough shooters. You got enough power forward / how can I say hybrids like LeBron that can go down from shooting forward to power forward. So what are we missing? We're missing a facilitator, a guy that can go in there and do the dirty work. I thought from a basketball perspective, he was pretty good, and I would have got rid of Kawhi. They got rid of Kawhi. I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah.
They got rid of Kawhi. Kawhi came
I ain't never been a fan of Kawhi, though.
I ain't going to play for 2 minutes. I ain't practicing today. Hey, that's why they got a basketball guy running the basketball. Grant Hill. He's got the credibility to go up there and look at you and say, bye. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. What were your thoughts on it, Edmund? I feel like he should have been on.
I think he should have made a team.
I feel like he's earned it, actually.
Ain't no such thing.
Oh, he's a world champion. MVP.
Right, and MVP.
Ain't no such thing, man. Ain't no such thing as earned. Nobody owes you nothing. Does he have
the highest contract? Does he currently have the highest contract in the league?
Yeah, but nobody owes you nothing. The highest contract don't come with Olympic spot.
But how can you match the contract?
But how can you be at the highest level of your profession? You're the highest paid in your profession. You just won a world championship in your profession, and you're the MVP.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he wasn't the league MVP. He was the MVP.
I'll give up league MVP every year.
To get and his numbers weren't better than his. He wasn't the best player on the team. Go look at the numbers.
But he was the best person during the finals when it counted. I don't care
had the better numbers
during the season. Who played? Who was the better? Take him off the team when they still win.
His counterpart had the better numbers.
Yeah. For the season or for the finals?
For the finals. Go look at it. He led in scoring. He led in rebounds. He led in assists. So tell me, how did he get MVP? Go look at it.
Go look at the metrics, though. You can't just go by that. What was it? The points differential when he was on the floor and off the floor, when Tatum was on the floor and off the floor, and then versus both of them on the floor.
Was he an impact player? Yes. Now, what I'm telling you is that you just don't earn a spot. It's several people that should have what we may consider earned. Like old boy should have been on the dream team, I think. You know what I'm saying? The original Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? But Isaiah didn't have him and Jordan didn't have the right mindset. And on top of that, what did Isaiah bring to the table? that John Stockton wasn't gonna come out there and go for 30. John Stockton was gonna pass the ball. We already got Michael Jordan. So they got away with it.
Yeah.
You know?
So he had, for the finals, he had 22, 21, 30, 10, 21. Average 22.3.
And look at Brown. Brown was right up under him.
No, that's what Brown.
Oh, that was Brown. Look at old boy, because he had a high average than Brown.
Talking about Tatum.
Yeah, what is the stat when they I forgot what they call it. It's kind of like war in baseball when they look at the point differential versus when you're on the floor.
Talking about I don't believe in that because
but that determines your impact, though.
Yeah, but you got to understand how they keep stats, though. So let me tell you how they keep stats. If I go down and
he averaged a little bit more than Tatum. Tatum had 16, 18, 31, 15, 31.
Tatum was up around 22 for the series. If you count, I ain't talking about that one game series. I'm talking about the whole. The MVP is the whole shebang.
That's what I was looking at. I was looking at all games. Games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I can tell you the way basketball keeps stats, to me, is not an accurate depiction of what is going on in the game. If you tip the ball, let's say that guy dribbling, you tip the ball, and your teammates grab it, he gets the steal, not you. If I throw you the ball and you fumble it out of bounds, I get the turnover. You don't, even though you fumble the ball out of bounds. If I give the ball to you wide open under the rim, you take one dribble, it's no longer an assist. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I look more at the scoreboard more than anything. Like, are we up while you're on the floor? When you come off the floor, what is the difference?
All that, to me, all that count. All that goes into that ratio and all that. So I'm gonna tell you, and this is something that I learned from watching my son play. So my son goes out there and he's playing point guard, and he was averaging 4 turnovers per game. Okay, that's pretty high, to be honest with a D1 basketball player. So we would go back and break down film. And
was his usage high too?
No, because he wasn't scoring a lot.
No, I'm saying, did he have the ball in his hand a lot?
Yes. But
when you have high turnover, that means you have the ball more than anybody.
They don't have a matrix. They don't have a matrix for that. You know what I'm saying? They don't. The
NBA keeps up with all that.
Yeah, in college they don't keep it. You go look at ESPN, they have live stat. So my son comes down, gives this kid the ball. This kid turns. He tries to catch it with one hand because he's taking off. It goes out of bounds. He gets the turnover. He comes down and threw the ball to a kid. The kid misses a layup. He don't get that assist, even though that was a good pass. You get what I'm saying? So to me, they don't count hockey assists. That when I go draw 2, throw the ball, then he throws it to another person for a wide open layup. They don't count that. Hockey does. Hockey, do you ever heard the term hockey assist? Basketball don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. And to me, you got to be very careful with these stats and statistics, because to me, I'm a person, and you probably won't never hear people say that, numbers lie. Numbers lie all the time. You know, I can make numbers dance and give you a story. People sit there and say, they listen to the what's the rapper, Big Lip rapper. They be like, oh,
he said, men and women lie, numbers don't.
That's bullshit. Numbers lie all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be margin for error, but it ain't gonna be that abnormal.
Bruh, numbers lie every time. I'm telling you, I work in a system where we have to report numbers, and I'm telling you, them motherfuckers.
But sometimes with numbers, it's either it is or it isn't, based on the
I would say it's in the eye of the beholder. It's how you look at the numbers.
Numbers is how you read them.
Numbers don't lie. Numbers are numbers.
So
numbers are how you read them.
Which is another good segue. I've seen this debate. People are saying, which they're not basketball people, they're saying Angel Reese is padding stats because she's had so many consecutive How can you pad defensive rebounds? How can you pad?
No, the other night, in order for her to keep her streak, they were up 13. She gets a post pass at 6 seconds, and she went in because she needed 2 points to make 10. She needed 1 point. She had 9 points. She went down with 6.3 seconds left, and that girl fouled the shit out of her. I would have fouled her too. And he fouled her. She went and hit her free throws. That's stat pad. I don't care what you say. Now, do I agree with it? I'm gonna get mine. But don't say she ain't stat pad.
How though? Because you got an opponent who's trying to stop you from doing what you're doing.
You know it's customary that when the game is in hand, you're supposed to dribble the ball out in a professional league.
But I ain't talking about the last stat that she accomplished. I'm talking about the first 9. Like, people are saying people aren't guarding her and letting her get defensive rebounds. How, man?
Now, sometimes your teammates, I've seen that where sometimes your teammates let you get the rebound, especially if you close to a triple-double or something like that. So I've seen that in games. I've seen that in NBA.
Yeah, but like some of the games, she has half of the double-double the first half.
Yeah, but she patting stats, Sean. I don't care what you say.
Man. Hey, you can't purposely pat stats.
In her mind, her path to rookie of the year is this double-double. This double-double streak.
And then they're saying she's missing layups on purpose to get.
No, she just can't shoot. She was doing that.
Exactly. Yeah, she ain't patting stats, bro. She ain't patting stats.
I don't leave Angel alone, man.
Hey, she
the rookie of the year already, bro. Already.
No, cause that popular vote gonna change that.
No, man.
Now that will be controversial.
It ain't.
Yeah, it will.
Because y'all the minority. It ain't.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the last thing, man. You got a what were they thinking, Roger? I got one, man. I got one. I do it like this. Guess what race it is? Take it from the Breakfast Club. There was a guy in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the Dollar Tree or Dollar General.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but yeah, I got you. He got arrested like an hour ago. Just let you know.
Well, he turned himself in.
Oh yeah, turned himself in.
But of all the things he could have did besides that, what was he thinking, bro? It's just,
hey man,
did you see the story?
Sometimes them legs and toes get you, bro.
No, I was trying. Is that the man
that he could have
on his leg?
Yes, man.
I wouldn't have turned myself in. I'd have been gone.
Some people like that. You
know why he turned himself in? Because old boy put a bounty on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Meek Mill put like 2,000 on his head.
Yeah, he put a bounty on it. So
wow.
But hey, yeah, I was going. I thought about that one, but I was gonna stay away from that.
If the Breakfast Club can talk about it, we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's never to me. That's never a funny situation where a guy felt so comfortable that he would do that in a store on a female that he did not know in public. What you think he'll do if he saw her walking to her car at night? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I thought that, that I'm glad he turned himself in because before he do something more dangerous. They got a guy here in Columbia County that is very high. It's a very high profile case. This guy got 3 life terms. He was raping military wives. He was disguising himself as a businessman, a military guy. He got about 3 or 4 rapes on him, where he was sexual assault women and different things. Well, for some reason, the Georgia Board of Parole has deemed this guy eligible for parole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't know I'm not taking no sides, you know what I'm saying, because I don't know enough about the story itself, but I know that they are fighting it here in Columbia County. They're fighting it, for his release. It's kind of curious because Georgia is one of the most conservative boards to let a guy that's serving 3 life terms plus, I think he had plus additional like 13 or 14 years or something on top of that.
What race is he?
He's African American, and they released him. Yeah, and he was around here raping military wives and you know, so and from my time, it was 3 or 4. He was almost like a serial rapist. So they getting ready to release him. And I'm like, what the hell are they thinking? You know, Georgia Board, out of all people, I know a lot of people that they could let out. But this cat, you know, if everything they saying is true, I'm like,
yeah, he definitely
people,
get out and do the same thing again.
That's what I'm saying, you know, and who's to say that he ain't gonna stay around here?
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true, bro. That's true, man. What do y'all think the mindset and the environment has come to? Because you think this stuff has always happened, but we didn't have the technology to catch it or call it out or shine a light on it?
I think we're a victim of both what you say. I think some of this stuff has always happened, but I think it's some shame has always been around that is no longer there. People are celebrating, let's say, Sexy Red and Gorilla in the way they do things. You know, back in the day, you know, girls used to get embarrassed about that. You know, I think guys, you know, doing drugs, guys used to be embarrassed. They were just, you know, other than weed, they were, I ain't smoking no crack. I ain't doing that. Now they don't care, you know, and they'll get on video and do it. You know, I think it's kind of both. You know, we've been doing it, not at this level, and now they doing it and they want to be seen. You know, they think it's cool. The morals is, and I'm gonna be honest with you, morals is low.
It's low. It's bankrupt. We have no morale.
None. And they don't care. That's the thing to get me. And you know what? And if you say something to them, they'll be like, "How you gonna tell somebody how to live their life?"
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then the same person, they gonna be like, "Well, I need some help with my 9 baby daddies, or I need help with my 40 kids that I ain't paying child support on." You know, come on, bro. No, nah, man.
Yeah, ethics and morals are out the door, bro. We've been bankrupt for a minute now with that.
There are no standards.
Yeah, man. They got me looking like a preacher.
That's hella bad, boy. If they know your track record from back in the day,
ain't it, bro? And hey, they got me looking good out here, man.
But actually, bro, we need more preachers like you. Because how you gonna tell me how to get through something you've never been through yourself?
I got you, man. Yeah. They tripping, bro. They tripping, but they got me looking good around here, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's some dirt daubers out there.
Oh yeah, definitely is, bro. Definitely is. But that's the end of the show tonight. If you tune in tonight, it's the Corner Store Podcast, where we get together every other Thursday to talk about our group chats that we share throughout the day, every day almost.
Oh, I got to shout out Reedsville too, man. I'm sorry for you in the show, bro. You know, a lot of people got in their feelings about me talking about Reedsville was slow, you know. So I'm gonna try to. Y'all still slow.
Bruh. Yeah, man. Yeah, we gonna definitely get somebody on from Reedsville for you. I'm gonna find some female. We need some more estrogen on the show. We had a guest that was lined up tonight, but she had a conflict of interest, a conflict of schedule that came up. So if you're out there and you catch the replay or you're watching now, we definitely want to hear feedback. I may have to open up the phone lines to where you guys can call into the show, ask the question you want to ask.
That'd be good.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys just let us know and we'll do it live on the show.
Hey, we got to wait till the first so they can have minutes on their phone.
Yeah, they still got them crickets in the country.
They still got them Obama phones.
Obama boost phones.
Yeah. Got to wait till the first, man.
Yeah, man. But shout out to all the birthday guys from the Corner Store cast. We got Kelly, Big Luke. Got some 50s coming up this year, but we ain't gonna call them out until they get here.
My brother just turned 50, Demetrius.
Yeah, Big Meat. Shout out to Big Meat. If you watch the replay of this, man, happy birthday, man. One of my favorite people.
My brother-in-law creeping. He had a birthday. he creeping around that 50 mark, but
Yeah,
I think
John in the
he
same
good, John.
generation with all this.
Yeah.
Same generation, no. But you hit it before I do.
I'm still good though, bro. I got a little bit. A little bit. I mean,
50 is not the old 50. 50 is not our parents' 50, bro. We way younger than the
man,
50 they
our
were.
parents was better health than us, man. We ain't got good
Speak
liver.
for yourself. Speak
bro.
for yourself, bro.
Yeah, I partied hard, bro. You know,
I did too, but I became health conscious.
Hey, I'm glad I slowed down, man. I'm glad I started slowing down in my 30s, man, because the pace I was going, bro.
You had cirrhosis of the liver?
It's done.
Bro, I think we all hit that slow down there because hey, we partied enough between 18 to 29. So hey, we got them royal oats out there.
13 to 29.
Yeah, but I had to be home before the street light, so I couldn't get out there at 14.
You know, the street light was in front of my house. So
I already know. Your daddy wasn't never home anyway. So
you never run the club, man.
Yeah.
I had to beat him home. If he knew how many Friday night parties we had at the house.
Oh man, you still had the best parties, bro.
Hey man,
and we had video camera back then, bro. You know how viral would have been.
So I let my son throw a prom party this year. I told him about my party, and I was like, you know, my dad let me throw parties. I'm gonna let you throw a party, bro. So be careful in today's time. Remember how many people was at my party? That shit made it all the way to Georgia Southern, and them folks came by the house, right?
Yeah.
Well, my kids didn't really want me at the house at the party. So I decided I'm gonna go off and let them, you know, let my oldest, not my middle son, he was 21, let him kind of run the show. They started the party about 10. I get a call about 12:15 from my neighbor. He said, hey, bro, you remember when you said there was going to be a small party? He said, nah, they out in the street smoking weed. It's about 200 vehicles out here. They drag racing in front of the road. When I came in that neighborhood, when I came in my neighborhood, bro, when I made that turn, it was a parade of cars all the way to my house, and I stayed at the back of the neighborhood. Folks were standing outside in people's yards, disrespecting them in their grass, standing there parked. Like, you remember how it used to be on MLK?
On person, like they lined up.
Yeah. Remember MLK when the daddy them had the club and that whole thing?
All the way down.
Look, think of that 5 times. All right. People were out rolling. And I said, hey, if you ain't with this part, bro, I had to pull my gun. I had to put my gun on my hip. Kids were disrespectful. I swear it was 200 kids at my house, probably 300 or maybe 2 something down the road in the neighborhood.
No, you can't.
Nobody called the police.
Most of the kids
they called the police later, but I had already let the homeowners association know that I was throwing a party. All right, and it was prom, so they was trying to be nice. The kids weren't really loud, except for the guys that was doing the drag racing, you know, showing out their little trucks. And but my neighbor was cool, you know, my neighbors happened to be cool, but he was like, rough. He said, they out here getting that loud. They smoking and everything. I go to my house. My son said, Daddy, I can't control them. He said, I don't know half these people. So what happened is they got on Instagram.
I was gonna say that's that social media effect, bro.
Yep, sent some stuff to some of these people. They people posted it. Before you knew it, you had Augusta, Evans, Hessable, Lincoln. You had everybody in the CSRA at my house for that party.
See, that's the reason why, if you know, like in Atlanta, when you see around graduation prom, most of the deaths with those young people happen around that time. These kids got guns, like they carry their wallets. Man, let me tell you something. There was a party, I think, in Douglasville. It was on the news. Kids came, just like you said, heard about the party, wasn't even invited, and they got turned away, shot at the house, killed innocent kids sitting on the stairwell. See, that's how all this stuff happens, man. That's why I told them my kid can't go to no house parties. These
kids sized me up, bro. One tried to run me over in the road. They sized me up. I went from having a concealed weapon to I had to start pulling I had to pull my shirt over my weapon so they could see it. I'm telling you, bro. And then guess what? The next day they at the damn breakfast table talking about graduation party. All right, bro, y'all done, son. You ain't getting no more parties in here.
They ain't mess up nothing in the house, didn't they?
Nah, the house was straight. They ain't nobody messed up the house. They left a few. I left there with no alcohol. They wasn't able to have alcohol, so I didn't provide no alcohol. Definitely didn't provide no weed. You know what I'm saying? But when I came back, I saw evidence of, blunt broke over here, a couple bottles of beer over here. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't terrible, but my son said he just couldn't control them. He said it was so many people there he couldn't.
And it went viral when it hit Instagram, bro. Yeah. Well, lesson learned, my boy.
Hey, I'm done though. I ain't got but a little girl.
No baby girl can't have no graduation party. Huh?
Nah,
they don't be wanting party. They want to go to dinner anyway. So
she done, son.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. Thanks for tuning in to the Corner Store podcast. Stay tuned for much more to come. Shout out to our co-host who couldn't make it tonight. We were supposed to have a guest host to host the show, but I think he mad at me because he said I didn't let him talk on the last show. That was Luke Cool Hand Hardy. So, Luke, if you're watching this or you see this, bro, hey, man, I'm going to have to fire you on your day off. Yeah. All right. Peace and love.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right.